Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday, March 18th, day one of distance learning. So as you can see, I am in my house in our little makeshift office downstairs, and I am participating in the shelter in place, participating in the social distancing, washing my hands all the time, and this is just what we're going to deal with until something changes. So I hope that you are also doing well, taking this time to spend it with your families, and of course, do some math. So here's how this is going to work. We are going to start each video off with a warm-up. And the way that that will work is that you can pause the video to write it down and then unpause the video and I will show you the answers to the warm-up. After that, we will do some notes and some practice. Then attached to this assignment, I will put a worksheet with a full answer key. If you have a printer and you want to print it out and do it, that's great. That is optional, but strongly recommended practice. I will not be collecting that and it will not be part of your grade. However, you will have an IXL code that will be a part of your grade. So that IXL practice will be due by Friday, and there will be no additional material, videos, anything on Fridays. Fridays will just be work days. So if you have stuff going on throughout the week and you cannot work on it until Friday, Friday is basically when everything will be due. The IXL codes are the only part of your grade right now, and the SMART score breakdown will be in the email that I send out. So without further ado, welcome to day one of instruction. Okay, so I'm also going to wear a different Star Wars shirt every single day just to keep things interesting. All right, here we go. So today's warm-up, I want you to write down the following expression: 4x minus 3x squared plus 7. And then I want you to do 4 things. You're going to write it in standard form, identify its degree, identify its leading coefficient, and its classification. So if you remember, classification is based on the number of terms that it has. So in CC3, we would say that this is a difference in a sum of 3 terms, but in Algebra 1, what is that classification? So if you want to go ahead and do the warm-up, pause the video now. All right, unpause, here we go. So in standard form, if you remember, we're going to put each individual term in order from greatest degree to least degree. So if we're looking at 4x here, because there is no exponent, we know there's a hidden 1. This has a degree of 1. In the second term, 3x to the power of 2, we know this that it has a power of 2. That means this has a degree of 2. And then 7 is called a constant. It does not have a variable, which means this has a degree of 0. So we have currently, it is in order from 1, 2, and 0, which is not in order from least to greatest. So we're going to take the middle term and we're going to put it out in front, bringing the negative along with it. So in standard form, our expression will be negative 3x squared to the power of 2 plus 4x, because it is a positive term, and finally plus 7. So again, we're going from degree 2, 1, 0, greatest to least. The degree in a 3-termed expression like this one is its greatest degree. So if you look, 2, 1, 0, the greatest degree is 2, so we would say this has a degree of 2. The leading coefficient, if you remember, to lead means to go out in front. So the leading coefficient just means the number out in front, which in standard form is negative 3. Finally, if we're going to classify this using Algebra 1 language, the Algebra 1 terminology for 3 terms is trinomial. So this would classify as a trinomial. All right, so that's just a little bit of review for you. Make sure that you have all of that correct, and you can message me with any questions, or if I make a mistake, because you know I do that often. All right, moving on. So the next part of this, we're going to do a little bit of review on what we covered on Friday, which was multiplying binomials. So if you remember, a binomial is an algebraic expression with 2 terms. Bi meaning 2, like a bicycle has 2 wheels. There are 2 methods for doing this. We have double distribute and we have area model. Again, if you were here on Friday, you already received this instruction, and so feel free to just stop the video now if you feel confident and just move on to the practice. You can always come back to the video if you feel like you don't know what you're doing. So we're gonna go over double distribute first. And again, it's totally up to you, whatever method you want to use that works best for you. Here's how double distribute works. Because parentheses are around these two binomials, it's basically saying I take every term from this binomial and multiply it by every term in this binomial. So the way double distribute works is I'm going to take the first term in this binomial, 2x, and I'm going to distribute it to the entire second binomial. So this would be 2x times the second binomial, which is 3x minus 4. Then I'm going to take the second term. So I took the first term. Now I'm going to take the second term, positive 7, and also distribute it to the entire second binomial, 3x minus 4. Now, if you recall, double means to do something 2 times or twice. So this is where the double distributing comes in. I'm going to be multiplying 2x by 3x and 4, and I'm going to be multiplying 7 by 3x, and that we'll call that a negative 4. So again, that's the double distribute. I do it once, I do it twice. Here we go. 2x times 3x. Well, remember, you can multiply in any order. So that's like saying 2 times 3 times x times x. Well, 2 times 3 we know is 6. X times x is x squared. Very good for those of you who said that. 2x times a negative 4, and again, I am calling that a negative 4 because subtraction we're going to look at as a negative. 2x times negative 4 is negative 8x. So I've done my first distributing. Positive 7 times 3x is a positive 21x, and a positive 7 times a negative 4 is a negative 28. So there's my double distribute. Now, if you remember from Friday, every time you multiply, or not every time, but like 90% of the time that you multiply two binomials, your answer should be a trinomial, meaning 3 terms. So if you're looking at this, you're kind of like, how could I turn this into a trinomial? Oh wait, I can combine my like terms there in the middle. So I would look at this as a negative 8x and a 21x, which if I combine them, 21, what is that, a 13x, hopefully? Okay, here we go. So altogether we have 6x squared plus, do I believe that? Yeah, 13x minus 28. And that is your final answer. That method is called double distribute. Now, some of you on Friday did not like double distribute. You preferred what we call the area model. So let's go over area model. Same exact thing, same exact question, multiplying two binomials, but this is using an area model. So the way that you're going to do this is you're going to start by drawing a window. Let's draw a window. You remember from first grade how to draw a window. Here we go. Boom and boom. All right. We've drawn our window. Now you're going to take the first binomial and you're going to write it above the window. So I'm going to put 2x and positive 7. Notice that I'm bringing the plus sign with the second term. I'm going to take the second binomial and put it down the side of the window. 3x and minus 4. Again, bringing the sign with the term. Now you're just going to find the area of each individual box. To find the area, you multiply the two lengths together. So if I grab a different color here, again, 3x times 2x, 3 times 2 is 6, x times x is x squared, this is 6x squared. You'll notice that also happened over here. Negative 4x times 2x is a negative 8x, which also happened over here. What? Okay, 3x times a positive 7x is a positive 21x, and 7 times negative 4 is a negative 28. Now, if you remember what's cool about area model is that you can actually combine like terms before you pull it out of the window. So we have an x squared, we have a negative 28, but we have these two x terms in the middle. So we can combine these two together before we pull out our final expression. Okay, here we go. So we've got the first term, because we always want to write these in standard form, which means greatest degree to least degree. 6x squared has the greatest degree. So here we go, 6x squared. Combine these two, negative 8x and a 21x, which again, we already did that over here. We know that that is a positive 13x. I really hope I'm doing that right. And our minus 28 at the end. Right, so that is how we multiply binomials. You have double distribute as one method, you have area model as a second method. Now, to keep things just like we would normally do, let's do a quick exit ticket. You guys are rolling your eyes now. I can feel it through the computer. Okay, we're gonna take our final expression, and here's what I'd like you to do. I would like you to find its degree. I want you to identify its leading coefficient. And I want you to classify it based on number of terms. And some of you will be able to do this just out loud. So go ahead, pause the video now if you'd like to identify those three. Degree, leading coefficient, and classify this final expression that we have here. Unpause, here we go. So again, if you remember from our warm-up, the degree is, as long as the expression's in standard form, greatest to least degree, the degree is the greatest degree or the exponent of the first term, which in this case is 2. Well done if you got that. The leading coefficient, again, number out in front, in this case is 6. And if we're gonna classify it based on number of terms, it has 3 terms. I said what it was about 3 times. It is a trinomial. All right, that is it for today. So I will attach worksheet practice with an answer key, as well as an IXL code, which is all about multiplying binomials. So the SMART score breakdown is in the email and attached to the assignment. Please email me with any questions, and I will see you tomorrow wearing a different Star Wars shirt. See you guys.